Good evening and welcome to the national news broadcast on Channel I. We are ready to bring you the top stories from home and around the world. I'm Natalia Veeravathana.
And I'm Thilina Udayaratna. For starters, we take a look at tonight's top stories.
The percentage of corona patients fully recovered in the country reaches nearly 73. An insurance coverage for artists gets underway. The decision on whether to acquit 4 accused, including former Minister Basil Rajapaksa, without having testimony of the accused, will be made on the 30th of this month. The former president says it would not be unfair to take legal action against him if he was found guilty by an Easter attack inquiry. It has been disclosed in Parliament that the Housing Ministry of the previous government defaulted in the payment of 140 million rupees to the national television.
And on your top local story this evening, the Ministry of Health says that a total of 15,447 COVID-19 recoveries were recorded in the country. 484 fully recovered patients have left hospitals today. A batch of 110 patients at COVID-19 treatment centres in Polonnaruwa have left the centres today following their complete recovery from the disease. The recovered patients have been identified as residents from Colombo, Kurunagala, Hambantota, Ratnapura, Monaragala and Anuradhapura areas. The police say that 680 out of the 1,080 corona-infected police officials have been fully recovered. 400 more officials are undergoing treatment. The number of fully cured patients discharged from hospitals in the first 25 days of this month amounted to 11,053. The highest number of cured patients have left hospitals on the 5th of this month. The percentage of COVID-19 recoveries in the country has increased up to 72.65. 5,720 infected patients are continuously receiving treatment. A total of 458 COVID-19 patients were detected from the country yesterday. 465 fully recovered patients have left hospitals today. 259 patients were detected from Colombo yesterday, while 78 patients were detected from Kalutara. A total of 10,400 PCR tests were conducted yesterday. Accordingly, more than 765,505 PCR tests have been conducted in the country at present. A total of 294 COVID-19 patients were detected from the country today. The patients have been identified as close contacts of the Paliaguda COVID-19 cluster. Another 485 recoveries were recorded today. In a random 25 PCR testings conducted down a lane in Dematagoda, Colombo 9, it has been found out that 19 out of 20 persons have contracted COVID-19. 47 employees in a worksite near the Golface Green in Colombo have also been infected with COVID-19. Accordingly, the workplace has been declared as an isolated location. 41 of the identified patients were Indian nationals. Measures have been taken to keep schools closed in the Kandy municipal limits till the 4th of next month by taking into consideration the COVID-19 threat in Kandy. Accordingly, 45 schools will remain closed. Meanwhile, 4 COVID-related deaths were reported yesterday. The Director General of Health Services says that the deaths have been reported from Ginigathena, Siembalape South, Colombo 15 and Atulugama, Bandaragama areas. The State Pharmaceuticals Corporation says that a methodology has been prepared to bring essential medicinal drugs to the patients in isolated areas through the corporation. A group of Sri Lankans stranded overseas due to the expansion of COVID-19 have returned to the island midnight yesterday and at dawn today. The group included 296 returnees from Dubai, Doha, the Maldives and India. They were subject to PCR tests at the airport itself and were directed to quarantine centres.
Chief Epidemiologist of the Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry, Dr. Sudat Samaravira, says that a special plan has been made to deliver medicinal drugs in the lockdown areas in Colombo.
In the Colombo Municipal Council area, several areas has been locked down, sometimes entire flats that has been locked down. So because of that, there are instances that we have seen that people who are having chronic diseases had poor access to their medicine. So some people are running out of stock of their medicine. So because of that, we have established a mechanism in collaboration with the Colombo Municipal Council as well as the police stations to ensure that these people will be getting their due medicines. So what they can do is, one thing is that when this mobile medical services arrives to their places, they can collect their medicine from these mobile services, or sometimes their clinic books will be collected and will be taken to the hospitals, and their medicines will be dispatched back to their houses. If they fail to do that, what they can do is that they can hand over their clinic book or prescription to the closest police station. Then the health authorities will collect these prescriptions or clinic books from the police stations and prepare their medicine, and it will be delivered to their own homes. So because of that, even that or people are under lockdown, or that their mobility has been restricted, and they can't go to a medical clinic, they will be ensured that their medicine will be delivered, and that they can continue their medicine. So that it is very important to control their diseases and that avoid unnecessary deaths also.
The government has taken measures to implement the first stage of the program to introduce emergency and medical insurance coverage for artists. Under the initial stage, the benefits are to be provided to artists in the stage drama sector. No fee is being charged from the insured under any circumstances. Prominence is to be given for proficiency and seniority of the beneficiaries in the drama field. Those actively engaged in the field for 5 years at a date closer to the date of application and who have received awards on a national level are eligible to apply. In addition, those who have been actively engaged in the drama fields for not less than 10 years at a date close to the date of application are also eligible to apply. The insurance coverage is being provided under the Saubhagye Dakma government policy on the instructions of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The program is being implemented through the Preksha insurance program of the Tower Hall Foundation under the guidance of State Minister of National Heritage, Performing Arts and Rural Arts Promotion, Vidura Vikramanayaka. The insurance coverage extends benefits to artists between the ages of 35 and 75 years who are engaged in the fields of drama production, direction, script writing, acting, set designing, makeup artistry, stage lighting, theatrical configuration, music and stage management. The Prime Minister's office says applications for the Preksha insurance coverage could be downloaded from the website www.towerhall.lk. Applications should be submitted to the address Director General, the Tower Hall Theatre, number 123, Sausiripaya, Vijayarama Mawatha, Colombo 7, before the 11th of next month.
Minister of Media Kehlia Rambukwala said in Parliament today that the Housing Ministry of the previous government had failed to repay a debt of 140 million rupees to the national television. He made these remarks participating in the third day's debate on the third reading of the budget. Wards of the Ministries of Foreign Affairs and Media were taken up for discussion. Parliamentarian Charita Herath said that they consider the government that remained in power from 2015 to 2019 as a government which has sapped the energy of the state media institutions. He added that the infrastructure facilities of the SLBC were eroded. The SLRC had incurred a loss of more than 1 billion rupees. The parliamentarian also said that the destruction of the ITN was a great crime. He further said that present government is compelled to spend an additional 500 million rupees to maintain these institutions. Parliamentarian Hesha Vithanas said that the so-called government of good governance had heavily practiced, or politicized rather, the SLRC, the SLBC and the ITN. The SLRC news ratings had gravely fallen. He also said that the present SLRC chairman has a great responsibility to uplift the fallen institution.
තිබුණේ කොතනද කියන එක පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න. චෝදනා මොන විදිය කරත් රූපවාහිනී සංස්ථාවේ සභාපතිවරයාට පෞද්ගලිකව මම ගරු කරන මේ රටේ විශේෂයෙන්ම හොඳ සේවයක් කරපු ලේකම්වරයෙක් විදිහට හිටපු පුජ්‍යලෙක් අද මේ සංස්ථාවේ සභාපතිවරයෙක් විදිහට ඉන්නේ. යහපාලන රජයේ කාලේ තිබිච්ච ප්‍රමිතිය ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න. නමුත් මධ්‍යස්ථ භාවය රැකෙන්න රාජ්‍ය මාධ්‍ය තියාගන්න පුළුවන් නම් රටක් විදියට ඉදිරියට හොඳ ප්‍රවණතාවයක් මාධ්‍ය අරහා දැක ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි. රූපවාහිනී ආයතනයේ ඔඩිට් රිපෝට් එකේ මෙන්න මේ විදියට
Minister of Media Kehliya Rabukwala said that the audit report on the SLRC says that the Ministry of Housing, Construction and Cultural Affairs of the previous regime had defaulted payments on Gammudava program to the national television. Propaganda advertisements were telecast on the SLRC from March 2018 to the year 2019, 3 times a day on 367 days. Accordingly, a sum of 140 million rupees owed by the national television was not repaid. The corporation has received only 2.5 million rupees.
The Colombo High Court has declared that the decision on whether to deliver the verdict on acquitting the respondents without having evidence of the accused in the case filed against 4 accused, including former Minister of Economic Development Basil Rajapaksa, over misappropriation of state funds is to be delivered on the 30th of this month. The accused have been charged for overutilizing government funds amounting to 2,922 million rupees belonging to the Divinaguma Development Department in a fraudulent manner by handing over housing aid to Divinaguma beneficiaries during the 2015 presidential campaign. Further hearings of the case were taken up before Colombo High Court Judge R. Gurusingha today. The plaintiffs have failed to prove with reasonable doubt the charges filed against the accused. Accordingly, the counsel of the accused have requested the court to acquit the suspects without summoning evidence of the accused under Clause 200 of the Criminal Cases Ordinance. The attorneys at law of the accused have submitted their written statements to the court. Deputy Solicitor General of Courts, Tusita Mudalige, has also handed over the written submissions of the plaintiffs to the judiciary. The High Court judge, upon consideration of the facts, has declared that the decision on whether to free the suspects without summoning evidence of the accused will be made on the 30th of this month, according to Clause 200 of the Criminal Cases Ordinance. The other accused of the case are former Secretary to the Ministry of Economic Development, Dr. Nihal Jayatilaka, former Director General of the Department of Divinaguma Development, Kitsiri Ranavaka, and former Deputy Director General of the Department, Bandula Tilakasiri.
Local sanitary towel manufacturers say that there is no change in the prices of local sanitary towel products. This was disclosed at a meeting with Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena in Colombo today. The producers said at the meeting with the minister that the 30% tax on sanitary towels imposed by the previous government has been reduced by 15% by the recent budget. It has also been pointed out that prices of sanitary towels in the market remain stable due to the maintenance of the remaining 15% of the tax as a cess duty. The local producers have requested the minister to reimpose the 300 rupees of import tax on a kilogram of sanitary towels. The minister has responded saying that there is no need for importation of sanitary towels by taking into consideration of the ability of the local producers to fulfill 100% of the local demand.
Former President Maithripala says that it would not be unfair to take legal action against him if he was found guilty to the charges in any inquiry conducted on the Easter Sunday terror attack. He made these remarks giving evidence for the 8th day today before the Presidential Commission. The former president has repeatedly stated in his testimony yesterday and today that he as president had no responsibility regarding preventing the occurrence of the Easter attack. He added that, however, all personnel in the security and intelligence divisions should bear responsibility in this connection. The former president further said in cross-examination by attorney-at-law Dilshan Jayasuriya, appearing on behalf of former Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando, that he does not believe that the calamity created through the constitutional crisis in the country in October 2018 had paved the way to the occurrence of incidents such as attacking Buddha statues in Mavanella and killing police officials in Vaunathiu. He further said that the former president, under further interrogation, said that he believed that he took correct political decisions and does not intend to pass the blame on to others. Answering on another question of the attorney-at-law, he has acknowledged the fact that he met the Indian Defence Secretary in April last year, despite the fact that he had denied previously of having had any such meetings with him. Maithripala Sirisena, under cross-examination, has also stated that he left for India with all of his 3 children. When attorney-at-law Dilshan Jayasuri had questioned him whether it was a serious overlooking of duties on the part of former Director of State Intelligence Nilanta Jayawardena for not informing of foreign intelligence reports on a possible attack during his meeting with him on the 8th of April 2019. The former president has rejected the allegation, saying that only one person should not be blamed for failing to prevent the occurrence of the attack. Answering a further question, he added that it may not have been a justifiable act of placing under detention only former Defence Secretary Maithripala and former IGP Pujit Jayasundara in this connection. At this instance, the attorney representing the accused had reminded the former president of making a statement placing the blame on the attack squarely on former Defence Secretary Maithripala and former IGP Pujit Jayasundara even prior to the release of the Malalgoda report. The former president has responded, saying that there is no connection between his statement and the committee report, and that he made the statement according to the issues discussed at the Defence Council after the attack. The former president said he would never have gone out of the island if he was aware that there was a threat of such an attack.
State Minister P.L. Nishantha said at a media briefing today that necessary measures are being taken to recommence primary educational activities. State Minister P.L. Nishantha said that they have already made arrangements to hand over the booklet to the preschools. He has pointed out that enlightening of the academic staff of preschools alone is not adequate. The minister has pointed out that a program has already been made to educate the parents as well. Measures are underway to give a message to parents and guardians who carry their children to the preschools or the daycare centres. Separate guidelines have been provided by the ministry to prepare the early childhood educational and care centres on the prevention of the spread of the COVID-19 disease. The minister has also pointed out on the main objective of all groups concerned coming together and take decisions.
Now in other news, State Minister of Defence, Home Affairs and Disaster Management Chamal Rajapaksa has instructed all district secretaries to present facts to the Cabinet on the ability to provide a bag of essential food items on a weekly basis to every family undergoing self-quarantine in their residences. Minister Chamal Rajapaksa has made these remarks at a conference of district secretaries held today. Secretary to the ministry, retired Major General Kamal Gunaratna, has also attended the event. Minister Chamal Rajapaksa said that the people in villages as well should be prepared to live with COVID-19. Residents in multi-storied housing schemes in Colombo and others living on daily wages had waged an agitation, saying that 5,000 rupees allowance is not adequate. The minister said attention should be focused on handing them a weekly dry rations sack.
The Lanka Premier League or the LPL 2020 cricket tournament will commence at the Suryavava Mahinda Rajapaksha Stadium in Hambantota tomorrow. The 5 teams competing in the tournament are Colombo Kings, Nambula Vikings, Galle Gladiators, Jeffta Stallions and Kandy Tuskers. A special feature has been the participation of super players of both local and international cricket in the tournament. The inauguration ceremony begins at 6:50 p.m. tomorrow. The inaugural match will be between Colombo Kings and Kandy Tuskers. The final scheduled to be played on the 16th of next month.
Well, that's it from the Rupavahini News Desk for tonight. Join us once again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, take care, see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Good night.